Hi, I'm Nicola. This is our Easy. Thought it'd be helpful for people to have a grid system idea of gridding, very tried and true method of transferring an image onto a piece of paper accurately, give you a good composition and get over the blank space of the piece of paper. So here we go. Hope it helps. So here I've set up a still life. So we want to draw this as accurately as possible, just to hone those skills on seeing and translating with a pencil or paint for that matter, how to get your still life onto the page with good proportions. So here I've taken a photograph and printed it off of the still life so that I can put a grid on top of it. If you can see in the fine lines, pink lines, sort of inch squares are created, and this will allow me to have a better idea translating it across onto a piece of paper. You can see in here how the squares allow the eye to see how a shape intersects. So we see here the lid of the nail polish is just less than halfway across this square, and that's how we can translate it onto a piece of paper. So I have a piece of paper here that I have created a small grid. So I've reduced the size of it by making those inch squares half-inch squares, so you can efficiently reduce the size of your image and retain the accuracy of the proportions. So here we have the grid. I've just started plotting a couple of the objects in there. So the squares are now a half-inch in size, whereas this is a full size. See if I can get both sheets in the image here. So get a pencil. So you see how at the top here we have the nail polish top again. Seems like an easy start. It starts just below, about a quarter of the way down the line of the square, and that's where you can plot the line in. It's a very mechanical way of creating your image, but it gives you sort of the basics, and then you can be more fluid. Obviously, if you're doing a drawing, you make this grid in a very light graphite so that you can erase afterwards, leaving your image, but just for the purpose of demonstration, I've highlighted it in pink. So here, let's do a little actual drawing on here. So I've numbered the squares so that we can keep drawing in the accurate square. So this lens cap is 7 and 3 up, so 7, 1, 2, 3 up, and as we see in this square, this square here, it comes in at about just below halfway, comes across, and then turns back to just below halfway here. So we can plot our line quite easily there. Then the thickness of it we can denote by the edge comes to the square. It's about the same depth all the way around. Comes up to here, which is about there. And then we plot around again. As I say, very mechanical, and then you can put your own flair into it afterwards. Again, here comes about a quarter of the way out. And as you're doing this, you can correct as you go. So this comes across here, the next square, sort of halfway on both sides. It dips a bit in between, and then we make adjustments as we go. This comes across the corner here, comes out the back here to meet the pen. So too much information there, so we go back to the basics. It's about a quarter or less there. Yes, we have that correct. This is about where the pen is, so we can come across. And obviously the more information you have in here, then that starts dictating. But it gives you a good idea of what's going on. Another trick for getting accuracy, if that's what you're after, and in this instance that's what we're talking about, we can go into, say, look at this intricate area in here, and instead of actually drawing the shape of the bottle or the pen, we can look at this shape here as its own shape, and that will help us become more accurate in this solid shape, in that shape, because sometimes our eye is fooled by lights and shadows and so forth. So I encourage you to draw these shapes, the negative shapes we call them, or the empty shapes, and that will help you find accuracy when you're drawing your drawings. Okay, so I hope this helps. Happy gridding.